Everyone here is living with a disability, receiving benefits and trying to work. Today they've helped create packaging for photo frame companies. For these volunteers, though, this is also a chance to escape isolation at home.
It gets me out, gets me mixing with people, and it gets me to do practical things.
Sandra Nolan visits the centre every week. She lives with schizophrenia, autism and incontinence. She receives PIP payments and health benefits, mostly, she says, to help pay her energy bills. Why do you need to top up your electric bill?
Because it goes down so quick with the drying and the washing.
And why do you need to use your washing machine and dryer so often?
Because I wet myself. Yeah. And sometimes before I get to the toilet, I wet myself. Yeah.
Sandra is up for reassessment next year. Like so many, she's worried she might lose benefits that have become a lifeline. For Michael, his PIP payments of £550 a month help him live independently. He feels today's changes show a lack of understanding.
It's not fair for any of us. You know, we have to, others, we have to suffer. They don't know what it's basically like.
The assessment today lays bare how widespread the cuts will be. Critics are worried it's too much too soon.
We're really concerned about the effects that these measures are going to have on disabled families, on child poverty, and the fact that it seems these savings were rushed to meet a particular savings target rather than really long-term fundamental reform that the system needs.
For protesters around the country, the solution is simple. For the government, though, this is about incentivising more people into work. It's committed £1 billion in employment support schemes.
Some of the figures in the reports out today show the direct impact of the welfare changes. What they don't yet show is the positive impact in terms of employment, getting people into work.
Jay has spina bifida. Her benefits help her with her basic needs.
When you're in a cold house, in a cold bed, you've not had anything to eat, you don't know if you're going to be able to afford anything to eat. Are you going to lose your PIP? What's that going to be like? I think it's absolutely disgraceful.
The government says it will support people like Jay. For her, though, she's never felt more uncertain about her future and more isolated. Sangita Lal, ITV News, Birmingham.
And if you've been affected by today's cuts and want to share your experience with our team, please email us welfare@itv.com. And our deputy political editor, Anushka Rostan, has been reporting on the welfare cuts over the past months, and she is at Westminster this evening. Anushka, is the government going to struggle now to get these welfare changes through Parliament?
Well, they will get them through Parliament. They will require legislation. And the reason they will is because Keir Starmer has got a huge majority. So that gives him political stability. But there is no question that this is going to be the most difficult policy that he has had to get past his party. There could well be a rebellion. And there is upset across the party. You know, when those plans were first leaked to us, it was a Friday evening. And I'm told that Downing Street figures were taken aback by the level of backlash from MPs, not just the usual suspects, but all across the party. They actually delayed the announcement of the plans because of it. They invited in every MP to try to persuade them of these changes. And look, lots of them do believe in the principle of trying to make work something that is more incentivised. But the reality that you just heard, that millions of people are going to lose out, those people are constituents of these MPs, and they are really worrying these MPs about how they're going to get through this.
Right, Anushka, thank you. While ministers have insisted today is not a return to austerity, but the Chancellor did revise her spending plans, announcing cuts for some government departments. How those cuts look and feel will be decided at the spending review in June. But the people who run courts, prisons and local government are likely to have to find savings. A tough ask for vital public services already feeling the squeeze. Our political correspondent Carl Dinnan has been assessing the impact.
Rachel Reeves says the world is changing, and hers certainly is. She has less money to spend, and more of what she has is going on defence, particularly on defence technology. An extra £2.2 billion is heading the Defence Secretary's way next year.
This is going to allow us to make the country safer in an insecure world, but it will also mean that we can drive economic growth and boost jobs in every part of the country.
But other parts of the public sector are in a bit of a hole. Today, the government said schools' funding per pupil in England will stay flat. The trouble is, schools' costs are growing, partly as a result of the Chancellor's national insurance rise. And so head teachers are having to think about what they might cut.
We've got a wealth of after-school clubs that we provide our children with, so gardening club, the arts, sports, access to swimming lessons. That might be an investment that we have to, seriously consider cutting back.
All those things are vulnerable.
All those things are absolutely vulnerable.
Local authorities recently got more money for filling holes, potholes, but county councils in particular are now worried about the broader outlook for their funding after today's statement.
Very disappointing that whilst talking about the future, there was nothing in today's statement about the crisis that are currently existing in local government, especially around adult social care.
Savings are going to be made in Whitehall, with 10,000 civil service jobs due to be cut, although unions say that won't be painless.
I think anybody that's ever worked on the front line will tell you that that will almost inevitably impact on frontline services. The difficulty we have is because public services have been cut to the bone over the last 14, 15 years, that is surely going to have an impact on the services we're able to deliver to the public.
Unprotected government departments such as the Home Office may find themselves facing further cuts from as early as next year, with the details to be set out in the spending review in June. Carl Dinnan, ITV News, Cheshire.